The US dollar has been taking some serious hits lately, especially after Trump dropped the tariff bomb. According to the dollar index, as I'm recording this video, it's sitting at 99.7, down from its peak of 110. Reports are also suggesting a massive sell-off in the US bond market. Yikes, that's not just a dip, that's the dollar tumbling down the stairs. Now, drops like this aren't totally unheard of, but it raises a pretty big question. Is Trump's tariff strategy, especially against China, accidentally pushing the world to start breaking up with the US dollar? Are we watching the de-dollarization happen in real time? To figure that out, let's rewind to the Plaza Accord, a time when the US was also dealing with a super expensive dollar and massive trade deficit. But instead of starting a trade war with the entire planet, they got everyone in the room, made a plan, and didn't blow up the global economy. Let's rewind to 1985. America was in a full-blown trade emergency. Interest rates were sky high, the US dollar had jumped 50%, and exports basically dead on arrival. Meanwhile, Japan and Germany were flooding the US with the imports like it was Costco on Saturday. The result? A $49.7 billion trade deficit with Japan and $11.2 billion with Germany, nearly 3% of the entire US economy. Factories started shutting down and Detroit was on life support while Toyota and BMW were eating its lunch. So what did the US do? They didn't start a trade war. They threw a secret economic sleepover. In September 1985, finance ministers from the US, Japan, West Germany, France, and Britain all meet up in New York's fancy Plaza Hotel. Yes, the kind of place where you did expect bond villain to host lunch. That meeting became the Plaza Accord. The plan? Weaken the US dollar on purpose. They coordinated a massive dollar sell-off in the foreign exchange market to bring it down. Oh boy, it worked. Within 2 years, the yen surged 51%, the mark shoot up 40%. US exports came back to life. Great, right? Well, not for Japan. Their currency rose so fast, it lit their economy on fire. That triggered an acid bubble which popped, and boom, welcome to Japan's lost decade. In contrast to Plaza Accord, which actually helped solve the trade deficit with the US, there's now a juicy little theory flowing around the so-called Mar-a-Lago Accord. The idea devalue the US dollar while letting other countries' currencies rise. A kind of drag everyone else down so the US looks taller strategy, you know what I mean? Now, whenever this is a real plan, part of Trump's legendary 4D chess playbook, or just a tinfoil hat theory, we don't know for sure. But here's what we do know. The dollar has been devaluated recently. And at the same time, many global currencies have gone up thanks to the massive US dollar sell-off. So the big question remains, is this all part of Trump's master plan to fix the trade deficit again? Let's break it down and look at a few key differences between then and now. First, back then, the US was the big dog. During the Plaza Accord, the US economy made up over than half of the world's GDP. Basically, America was the boss. Now, the US share has dropped to about 25%. Still big, but the new kids on the block, China, Russia, and others are gaining serious ground. Translation? The US can't flex quite like it used to. Second, the dollar isn't what it used to be. Yes, the US is still the dominant global currency for now, but its foundation is looking shakier than a Jenga tower in an earthquake. With rising alternatives like Chinese yuan, Bitcoin, even the new BRICS currency ambitions, the dollar is slowly losing its edge. It's still the king, but it's starting to look over its shoulder. Plaza Accord, third. Plaza Accord was collaborative, this not so much. Plaza Accord was a team effort. Countries came together, hash it out, coordinate currency moves. Fast forward today, This administration went rogue, rowdy as heck, slapping tariffs left and right, starting a tariff war, while simultaneously blaming globalization for all of America's problems. Vice President J.D. Vance, author for Hillbilly Elegy, even shared how his hometown was devastated by globalization. People lost their manufacturing jobs, their identity, and their future. And sure, that plan is real. But is waging economic war on the world the solution? Lastly, China and Japan have done their homework. That Plaza Accord led to Japan's infamous lost decade, an economic recession that lasted way too long. China and Japan studied that chapter like it was an exam they couldn't afford to fail. So try the same tactics today? Good luck. Nobody's signing up for run 2 of let's tank our economy for America. Right now, the US simply doesn't have the leverage to strong arm the world into submission. This tariff-first strategy is starting to look less like economic genius and more like wishful thinking powered by ego. And it's starting to backfire. So what's happening? Countries are negotiating without US. China is talking to the EU and Canada. Japan and China are in talks. Yes, seriously, after all that historical beef, they are finally having lunch. Countries are finding new trading partners. And oh yeah, they're selling off their US bonds too. Meanwhile, China is starting to look like the superhero, standing up to the global bully, while Trump's 4D chess game is looking more like checkers. Maybe that's why Trump backed down from most of his tariffs, leaving only 10% rate within the wake of announcing them. Let's not forget, when China hit back with those 125% tariffs on US exports, Trump immediately exempted smartphones and electronic exports. Guess what? That's pretty much most of China's export value to the US. So maybe this trade war wasn't a master strategy after all. Maybe it was a quick cash grab to fix the government budget, make room for Trump's new tax cut, and win some headlines. But now, it's turning into a massive blunder that's fast-tracking de-dollarization. Unlike the Plaza Accord in 1985, where the US sat down with its buddies to calmly rebalancing currencies like responsible adults, today's dollar drama feels more like a bar fight, and leading the charge, Trump, with his anti-globalization bullhorn and a MAGA cap backwards. Instead of working with allies, his administration slapped tariffs on everyone, including the EU and Canada. Yes, even the nice neighbors who say sorry too much. He pulled out of the trade deals, gave side eyes to globalization institution, and basically told the world, fuck off. And guess what? The world took the hint. By flipping the bird to the post-World War II economic order, Trump managed to do something impressive. Push traditional partners away and hand rivals like China and Russia the perfect opening. Now we have got yuan-based oil contract, BRICS trading in local currencies, and even gold-backed payment system, because apparently we're doing medieval finance now. It's a big shift from the Plaza Accord days when other nations willing to make moves to help the US stay in charge. Today, de-dollarization isn't just a side effect or sanction or market cycle. It's a world saying, if the US is detaching themselves from globalization, maybe we should detach the dollar. The dollar still wears the crown, but let's be honest, the world is already casting auctions for the next king. Now, would the US dollar collapse completely? That's anyone's guess, but the signs are here. We might be witnessing a pivotal shift in global power and currency domination. One thing's for sure, if this was part of the play, it might be time to get a new playbook.